All right, so that's the first generation Rivarossi Malay 0880. This particular one has a square motor in it. It's got the straight drive shaft, where the second generation has this drive shaft is offset. It uses these cups, so the drive shaft goes at an angle. The reason why it goes at an angle is because this particular one had the original. This one had a round motor in it, not the square motor in it. So the motor needed to be in the center of the cab, not offset. So they had to shift the transmission box at an angle, which you can see, where this one is straight. This one here I modified. I didn't like the motor being in the cab, so I lopped off the back, and I put it back, the oven or whatever it is where you throw the coal in there with the firebox and whatnot, and I put the motor underneath the smokestack. This is a 3-pole motor that actually has very good pulling power, even though it's not skew wound, and it operates very well, very good at slow speeds. This rubber block is glued to it, so screw comes down through the smokestack and holds the cover on. And there is a block of rubber between the motor and the plastic so the motor doesn't vibrate. And I used silicone tubing, food grade silicone tubing, or you can use weed whacker or chainsaw. Fuel line will work. Anything that's silicone, very flexible, works very well. So back to this train. This is the original one. I'm pretty sure Harrison has this one here, because I saw the pictures, and it looked just like this one with the straight drive shaft. And the aluminum is probably lopped off the back, so you can just glue a square rivarossi or an aftermarket motor, however you want to do it, in its place, and be done with it, and that'll hold it. Now, how you can tell without taking the train apart is, for one, this will have the steel pin on the drawbar to pick up connection, where this particular one here doesn't. There's no pin on it, so it doesn't pick up any electrical connections. All the connections come from the drive wheels. This one here, the connections from the engineer side come from the drive wheels, and the fireman side comes from the tender, like this one. And this is the second generation. This one doesn't have, it's just plastic. There's a speaker in there because it has DCC. So this is the second generation. Again, drive shafts are offset at an angle. And this one here, straight drive shaft, no offset. That's the main difference. And this one has a square motor that's offset to one side, sticks slightly out of the cab. This older LA actually works better than the second generation. Better speed, a little bit better pulling power, and definitely better electrical connections. So I think this is the piece that's been lopped off on your train, Mr. SMT. And I think if you just glue one of the motors that I gave you, square rivarossis, right back in place, I think you're okay. And I'm pretty sure that the tender that was, I'm not positive, but the tender that you were given when you got the big boy that was incorrect was definitely one of those. I just don't know if it had electrical connections, but I'm sure you can figure that out. You're very smart. You got my email. Reach out to me if you need to. For anybody else that has one of these Malays, this particular one here, I raised up this transmission. I pressed the center shaft in further so it would reach the truck. I raised this up. I lopped off the weight. I mounted the motor in the front to get it out of the cab. It works very good. There's a video of it chuffing away, working. Excuse me for my wiring. It's not perfect. But this train works very good. It has a cheap XL sound decoder in it, which is the company that makes the cheap MRC decoders. I really wouldn't recommend them. If you could buy a Soundtrax one, you'd be better off. Loc sound is good too, but you have to, I think those ones you have to download sounds. These ones come out, the Soundtrax ones come all programmed as far as sounds go. You know, for $50 it works pretty good. I got them off of eBay. It's the only place that sells them. And that's it. So anyway, if you have any questions or any comments about what's inside either of these trains, if you have any problems, or I have 5 of these things, I know them inside and out. Feel free to leave a comment, ask a question, and I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching.